Hello, everyone. Welcome to the last chapter of The Giver, chapter 23. Whew. Oh man, this chapter it always touches my heart. Such a touching, painful, difficult chapter for me whenever I read it. It starts off with joy. Jonas is feeling happy, like, oh, we're getting closer. I think I think we're finding our way there, and it's just a little further away, and we're getting to that elsewhere. We're getting to that place. But then it starts to snow. It starts to get cold, and they're hungry, and Gabe isn't crying anymore. And Jonas turns and he touches Gabe, and he's freezing cold. And Jonas puts him in his own jacket, and he wraps their blanket around him and looks up, and there's a huge hill covered in snow, and he tries to ride his bike, but he can't ride up. Even without snow, riding up this hill on the bike would be tough. But with snow, it's impossible. So Jonas throws the bike away, and he thinks, oh, I could rest just like this bike. I I could just go to sleep, me and Gabe, in the snow. No, no, he tries to think of one last memory of warmth, of sunshine, and oh yes, he can feel it. Oh, he feels warm and he wants to keep it. But then he suddenly feels, no, I need to share it with someone. And he shares it with Gabe. And then Gabe feels warm. He starts to stir a little bit. And Jonas starts climbing up this hill in the snow, in the freezing cold. His feet are numb. He can't feel them. And he starts to give up again. He starts to get sad again. And he's looking for some one last memory to give him some heat. And he goes on again. And then something strange happens, right? He's feeling really sad and terrible. But suddenly he starts to feel joy. He starts to think of all the good things he experienced. His father, his sister, his family, Asher, Fiona, the giver. All these wonderful memories of his memories, his own memories. And he starts to feel joy. Yeah. Hey, I recognize this hill. He starts to remember something. And he gets to the top and he's like, I remember this place. It's like, Gabe, we're almost there, Gabe. It's okay. I remember this place. And he starts to get excited. He still feels numb and cold, but he gets excited. He gets to the top of the hill. Oh, I'm at the top. We finished. It's just downhill from here. And he looks and he finds a sleigh or a sled at the top of the hill next to him. And he's kind of dizzy, but he gets on top of the sled. He grabs the rope and he's holding with Gabe, and he goes down the hill. And he's going down the hill, and suddenly he can see all these bright lights. And people are waiting for him. He just knows it. He doesn't see them yet, but he knows that they're waiting for him, and he can feel this joy, and he can hear music. And he can even hear music far, far away back in his community. And that is where the chapter ends. The book ends. The story ends. There is a series. I haven't read the other books in the series, but that is where this book ends. And I actually didn't even know there was a series. I thought this was the end. And I love this end so much because it leads so beautifully into my discussion question, which I'm going to ask here in just a moment. But let's look at some vocabulary. First, inadequate. Inadequate means not enough. So maybe they're inadequate clothing for the cold, right? They're not wearing winter clothes. Or maybe they're inadequate, I'm trying to think, skill to use the bike up the hill in the snow. I can't remember, but it's not enough. It's not good enough, or amount is not enough. Whatever it is inadequate. Hunched. Oh, poor Gabe. Oh, when I was reading this, I just thought of my daughter. Gabe is hunched over. His back is in a curve, and he's just trying to keep his heat. His body is hunched over, and his skin is cold. lethargy. Lethargy is kind of not wanting to move your body. Imagine waking up in the morning, your arm, your leg getting out of bed doesn't always want to move, especially if you're tired. That's lethargy. Or we can even say lethargic, meaning tired or exhausted. And that's how Jonas feels until that warmth memory kind of gives him some energy and he keeps moving forward. Briskly is rubbing like strong and fast. When you're cold and you rub your hands, and they can feel warm. He starts to rub Gabe in his chest. Rubs him briskly, fast, and strong to generate some heat. Finally, my discussion question. And this is the question that I've asked to myself when I first read The Giver. Because I think one of the things I really love about this book is this ending. Because I really don't know, did Jonas make it to elsewhere? To the house, to the people, whatever it is. Because reading it, I personally really wonder, did Jonas die? Because suddenly, as Jonas is going down the hill, he starts seeing bright lights. He starts hearing music. He starts getting happy. Did he die and like go to heaven or something? I don't know. But it ends, and I think the reader can kind of choose. And this is why I ask you guys this. Do you think Jonas made it? Is it a happy ending? He did it. He got to that place, and it was really crazy and magical and mystical, and he's there. Or, oh wow, he just died, and now he's just like seeing all this stuff in his head and hearing these music in his mind, and him and Gabe just died in the snow. I don't know. That's the question I always have after finishing this book. Now, maybe I need to read book 2 and I'll get some answers. I never knew there was a series. But do you think, just reading this book, did Jonas and Gabe make it? Or did they actually die in the end? Of course, please make your own discussion question. That is all the time that we have for today. But thank you so much for reading this book with me and joining me today. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye. Hey, if you have any questions about the video today, please feel free to leave a comment in the comment section. If you had any other vocabulary words that you wanted to know what they meant, let me know. And also, if you're interested in maybe joining one of these book clubs, please leave a comment and I'll get back to you. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.